Hey everyone, I'm Sebastian, this is Don. Anyways, we're going to cover the 3 exercises you should never, ever do with sciatica, except for in some circumstances. There's always circumstantial. What is sciatica? I think we should at least show that on ourselves so we can get an idea of where it is.
Cool. Stand up for me. Turn around. Show me your booty. Maybe starts in the low back here, comes through the glute, comes down the back side of the leg, sometimes past the knee into the calf, sometimes bottom of the foot into the big toe.
Okay. So wave, it's like you can draw a line sometimes, especially the outer part.
Sometimes it even just starts here, comes down. Sometimes maybe it's just here, comes down. But it's somewhere along this back side of the chain that is sciatica that we're talking about today.
Yeah, and it's usually like a tingly feeling, a numbness, a feeling of tightness. Sometimes it zaps, sometimes things are, again, numb, but sometimes it just feels like a tight hamstring. This is kind of a lower grade version of sciatica. You don't always have to have back pain with it, it's just leg pain. Usually goes past the knee though. The first one was a Russian, we'll do Russian twist. Okay. Show me a Russian twist.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes weighted.
Sometimes weighted, sometimes weighted. So go ahead and relax. So this is a really popular one to do in boot camps, and this is one that creates a lot of problems for various reasons. Number one is you're twisting your spine out a little bit. Okay, so if we have, what's this model's name again?
Uvaginaia.
Uvaginaia.
Uvaginaia Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. And so there's a lot of twisting going on, and so if we have these little holes in the spine right around those little, she keeps focusing on Don. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. And so those little white or yellow things there, and when you twist up, notice how those holes kind of change. They kind of change size a little bit. See how you can see through and they change size? So sometimes when you're dealing with sciatica, it's right from the back, even though the back doesn't hurt. And so something like a Russian twist is just pissing it off over and over again. And so what's the goal of the Russian twist? I never learned that dance. It's that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do instead. Why don't we do, go ahead and line your back for me. And so we're going to make this, go ahead and come this way. There we go, and slide that way.
Which way?
That way. Perfect. Okay, right there. Let's go knees up, feet up. Good. And turn that way.
Which way?
Put your head over there.
Okay.
That'll work. Whatever. Okay, we're going to go up just like that. Okay. So I want her to go to the point where she feels like her knees are pretty far towards her chest. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and go head up and full exhale until you feel the rib boobs completely go away.
The what?
Rib boobs. The boobs of the ribs. Okay? And so since this movement it might not be favorable on her back or her sciatica, keep those rib boobs gone, but put your head down.
Oof.
Good, just stay there.
And that's a good oof.
Oh, it's just hard on her.
It's just, yeah, my core is turning on.
Okay, so go to move the hand 1 second.
Okay.
So I see one thing on Dawn. See that there's I don't know, might be you won't be able to see it on camera, but she has what we call a dome. So she's doming, breathe. Okay? So she's doming here, which sometimes people will call diastasis, but it's a sign that she just has inadequate pressure here. So go ahead and stiffen up here or breathe through the sides. Good, so breathe. Perfect. So this is already challenging to her, and then we're going to add one thing is I want you to slowly drop one heel towards the floor. Don't touch the floor.
Okay.
And back up. Okay, keep going. Now sing your favorite song.
God, I can't even think of a song right now.
Yeah?
I literally, the first thing that popped in my head was the ABCs.
The ABCs. Okay, so the reason I'm having you sing a song is because I need you to breathe.
A, B, C, D, F, G.
Locally
World famous. I tried to do it to the ABC jingle.
Okay, so go ahead and relax. Where do you feel this?
Oh, right here.
Okay, so the breathing part helps out with creating some stiffness, but also you get a lot more belly work with the breathing. And then the legs are kind of known as, we call them the driver. And so as the leg goes down, the body has to stiffen up, the belly has to stiffen up so that, so basically it's not gonna move. You don't want to move, but that was more challenging than a Russian twist, right? Good, and a lot safer too, especially on sciatica. What's next?
Is a hamstring stretch.
Oh, got it.
So let's have you go seated. Show me your hamstring stretch. If you want to stretch your hamstrings before the gym, you're trying to, just loosen them up because they're tight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's the good one.
So.
I can feel it. I can feel it helping.
Feel it really stretching in that area?
I feel it stretching.
Okay. So one of the reasons we don't want to be doing this, you guys, if you have sciatica symptoms, is one, you can look at his low back and that rounding could be driving some more irritation to the nerves. Number two, you're putting the nerve that supplies that backside of the leg that we talked about on a stretch, on the tension. So although you may feel that stretch in the hamstrings, it feels like maybe you're stretching that muscle, you're actually tensioning that nerve, and sometimes can cause more irritation afterwards. It could give you temporary relief, but then you're just driving more irritation in the first place. So what we'll do instead, if you really want to stretch your hamstrings, just have you lie on your back. Take the low back component out of it.
I'll go here. There we go. There's a lot of screen to use up.
What?
There's a lot of screen to use
Okay.
up.
So what we'll do is, I think we've showed a different one on a different video, so we'll just go, put one leg down. Good. Bring this one up, knee bent. Good. Hold on to the back of that hamstring. Good. Kick up and down. Kick up and down.
That's better.
So you feel a little bit of a stretch there, but you're also taking that low back component out of it, and that may feel a little bit better on your hamstrings as well.
What if this still hurts? What if it still has the same kind of like good but bad feeling? Is there any way I can still stretch the hamstrings without doing this?
Without doing this specifically?
Yeah, or I mean, this one just, say this one, because I know this one doesn't work for everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another way to modify it possibly?
Point the toe.
Yeah, point the toe will work.
Where's your mind going?
I was thinking just don't stretch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason being is because sometimes the back's related and the rounding's related, like Dr. Don said. But sometimes just the stretch of the nerve isn't tolerated. So pointing the toe is one because that relaxes the nerve.
Mm-hmm.
This will light you up. And I know that you probably felt it too. Is you can probably feel it actually. Like you put your hand right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring my toes up, you'll feel the nerve tighten.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's nothing that goes through the center of the back of the knee attaching to the foot or ankle. And so this puts the nerve at tension, and sometimes it just doesn't like it. So sometimes you just don't do it for a week.
Just for funsies, let's show them the ab thing. Flip over, do the ab thing, and then retest your hamstring tightness.
Okay.
And then you it was straight leg deadlift afterwards.
The abductor thing, or the
yeah.
ab thing?
So what I want you to do, Seb, is I want you to feel how tight your hamstrings are right now. So stand up, go down, touch your toes.
Okay.
Go feet together, bend over, touch your toes, and take a baseline of how your hamstrings feel. This is gonna let you guys know if you need to stretch your hamstrings or not. Okay. So now, Seb, you're gonna get down on the ground. I feel like I always do this exercise to you.
You always just beat me up on this.
Okay, so once you have that baseline level of what your hamstrings feel like, now I'm going to have Seb prop himself up onto his elbows, look through the tunnel in between his knees. Good. Press up through your elbows here. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Bring your knees and elbows close together without actually moving. Create tension. Hold for 10, 9, 8. Keep pushing through here. Keep squeezing your cheeks. Keep pulling your elbows and knees together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Retest and see how your hamstrings feel.
Okay, I don't know.
A lot of times, surprisingly, you guys, this is insane. It seems like, well, I did nothing to my hamstrings. Why would that make a difference? Just try it at home and see. Most of the time you can get further down. Most of the time maybe you just feel less tension in your hamstrings. That'll let you know is, hey, maybe we need to look somewhere else in the body to see if that is what's playing a role into that hamstring tightness.
So I got to here last time, and now I'm here.
Yep. So, a little bit of a difference there. Try that at home.
Good. That's a good idea. Okay. So does that mean, yeah, so don't stretch your hamstrings as much. Your hamstrings will feel better just with not stretching sometimes. The last one is a stiff-legged deadlift, and this could be with or without weight. So Don's going to demonstrate this, and let's see how we got to position this camera. Here we go. Good. So the stiff-legged one is the challenging one here. So let's go ahead and keep those knees as stiff as you can. There you go. And back up. And one more time. And just notice what position she's in. She's basically going to relax.
Okay.
Let's take this away and go ahead and just go down kind of as if you're doing the movement and just pause there. I want her to, again, to notice what position you're in, and then go ahead and sit on your butt.
Sit on my butt?
Yep. And do that hamstring stretch I just did. We're doing the same thing. Okay? So an easy thing, again, putting the nerve on at less tension is to simply bend the knees. So go ahead and stand again. So if you want to deadlift, there's not a big problem deadlifting with sciatica, but...
So instead of here...
Yep. There you go. And so she's bending the knees and she's allowing the hamstrings to do some work while she's decreasing the amount of nerve tension, because the problem is nerve tension. Also what we can do is we can have her spread her feet a little bit. There you go, and go again. And again, a lot of you people who are like bodybuilding and trying to focus on getting the hamstrings with that one exercise, there's other ways to do that too. And it doesn't mean you can't do that again, it just means currently you're driving your own problem to death, because as you see, the movement that bothers it is the stiff knee, the toes up, and the hip bend, especially adding like the low back involved with it. So those are 3 things that we think you could probably improve on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How long do you think it's fair that say somebody isn't able to do that? How long should they avoid it or change it and then go back to it again?
It really depends. Ultimately, we're looking for resolution of symptoms before we start to introduce all of that back in again. So if ultimately you're like, hey, I want to be able to do these things though, do I have to not do them forever? If that's a goal of yours, we can work towards that. But if it's something that's driving your symptoms and irritation right now, maybe we need to take it away for a little bit and just have it resolved, build up some strength around the area, and then slowly introduce it back in. But timing, I mean, for me, I'm going to say it depends. I always say it depends because it just depends on the individual, how long this has been going on for, how bad the injury is. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if you find something that's working, like I'd say about, I mean, I'll do a definitive timeline in a couple weeks. I think the problem is that like the reason why my timeline would skew a little bit either direction is number one, people do respond faster than a couple weeks, and they can reintegrate that back in within like 5 days if we really were good at it, at focusing in on what treatments to use and having a custom plan and so on. But there's circumstances where people will keep picking their scab and they'll keep creating nerve tension, they'll keep pissing it off, and they're like, well, you said 2 weeks, but it's been like 2 months. Well, there's definitely something going on wrong if you're dealing with this for multiple months and you're not able to return to something again. So like, look, we have a whole video on sciatica and what it is and where it comes from and how to get rid of it and things like that.
If you can't come and see us right now for any reason, we do have virtual options.